I don't want to talk about
Absolutely
Ciryl Gane and his performance and the way that the fight looked and the way that the fight played out. But I want to talk about Ciryl Gane as an athlete. I want to talk about Ciryl Gane and some of the things that he has done now. Listen, Ciryl Gane now has 7 wins in the UFC heavyweight division. You know what's crazy? The dude only has 3 fights outside of the octagon. He's only 10-0. But Ryan, how exciting is it for Ciryl Gane to look like he looks, to move like he moves, but also to be undefeated and now holding a portion of the UFC championship?
I think it's more than exciting for this reason. As the UFC continues to elevate, as they continue to be in the forefront of MMA, these are the type of fighters you want to see. We're taking octagon fighting to a new level of athleticism, where you have athletes who can do more than one thing, who can do more than just fight, who don't have to fall back on plan Bs that don't make sense. This dude can play basketball. This guy can run. This guy can move. He's light on his feet. He's able to get in and out. He understands the strategic battle and the technical battle of fighting. This is the next level of fighting. This is the next level of MMA, to now that we have heavyweights that can move like bantamweight, that can move like featherweights, but also fight with that power. And I'm going to be straight up with you, DC. When I think of heavyweights, right, and when I think of the baddest men in the world, because that's what heavyweights are. When you were the heavyweight champ, you were the baddest man in the world. There was no way in the world, no matter how good Jose Aldo was, I was taking him over Daniel Cormier. It's no way in the world, no matter how good Kamaru Usman is, I'm not taking him over Daniel Cormier. But we used to want to see you guys slug, right? That's why we loved Mark Hunt, because we knew he was going to step in there and he was going to punch people in the face and let people punch him in the face. The game has changed now. You have to have that skill. And I think that Ciryl Gane, he's that dude, right? He's the dude we need to see, because when he walks in the ring, when he walks in the octagon, it looks like what it's supposed to look like, right? It's lean, right? It's no body fat. It's 240 plus pounds. And now when we watch him bounce and move in and out, and he says the game is to hit Derrick Lewis and not get hit. That's not normally things that we hear from heavyweights as they're walking to the octagon. And when you coming out with tipping on 4-4s, right? When you hear Paul Wall and the crowd's going crazy because they think Derrick Lewis is coming out. No, it's a dude from France. It's a dude from France that is in your hometown playing your music, because he's not scared, because he's that high a level of an athlete. And I think he's going to forever change what the heavyweight division looks like. And my question is, who beats this dude? Because to me right now, he's the #1 heavyweight in the world, and that includes the current champion, Francis Ngannou.
He was tremendous, right? The still tipping and everything was absolutely tremendous. I loved the way that the crowd reacted, thinking it was Derrick. And it really also shows that the fans and the crowd, they're not necessarily as in tune with the sport as they think. Because you would know Derrick, as the higher ranked fighter, always walks second, right? He's walking second, right? So even if Ciryl plays this trick, it shouldn't have worked. It shouldn't have worked. I knew it was Ciryl Gane, so I immediately pulled out my phone because I knew the reaction was going to be fantastic. But here's the thing. You know, you and I talked about this off air. Ciryl Gane looks like an athlete. He's an athlete. And you said 240, no body fat, lean, physical. Remember, that is exactly what we said about Francis Ngannou when he beat Stipe. Now you have a heavyweight champion that does not look like he's walking around the street, right? Ryan, you can see a Daniel Cormier all over the place. You can honestly see a Stipe Miocic all over the place. Stipe looks like he might be an accountant somewhere in your area, right? With the new haircut and the glasses. You don't see Ciryl Gane just walking down the street in Louisiana or in Las Vegas. You don't see Francis Ngannou. So you have this next level of guy. But you know what's the best thing about Ciryl? Is that this dude is just an athlete. And now as mixed martial artists start to make more and more money, now the big guys don't feel like they need to run to basketball. They don't need to run to football to try to get paid. They can get paid inside the octagon. And we have a clip of Ciryl Gane playing basketball. And when you watch him, you watch the way he moves, you watch the way he is active on the basketball court. I mean, this dude's an athlete. Look at him. That's Big Ciryl right there with the white shirt.
Hey,
get the rebound,
ain't nobody
Ciryl.
backing him down.
Let me see you do work, baby.
Yeah, nobody's backing that dude down.
Look at him. I mean, look at Ciryl. Look at Ciryl. I mean,
buckets.
Let's go. I mean, he missed it. He missed it. But look at it. Run down that rebound, big Ciryl. Let me get that reverse layup, Ciryl. Let me get that real quick reverse layup. Now, that's the thing, right? Ciryl Gane is an athlete. And I think that is what Derrick Lewis struggled with. And I think that a lot of the guys that he's going to have to fight are going to struggle with because he can move. And Francis Ngannou has a long history of training with him. But RC, you asked me, who can beat Ciryl Gane? And right now, I'm not certain. You know who I do believe has the best chance to beat him? And this gets crazy coming from me. Jon Jones. Jon Jones. Jon Jones is the guy that will present the most problems to Ciryl Gane. Why? Because Jon Jones has fought at 205. Jon Jones has skill of a little guy. Jon Jones has seen athletes before. Jon Jones beat me twice. I'm an athlete, right? He's seen the speed. He's seen the foot movement and the angles. He's had to deal with guys like that before. Now, can he handle that at a weight class above? I don't know. But I truly believe that Jones is one of the guys that truly can give Ciryl Gane problems, but I don't know who beats him. I think Francis has his hands full, man. I think Francis really has his hands full.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you mention Jon Jones in a positive light, I'm always kind of taken aback, and I don't necessarily know if I should even say some good things about him. But Jon Jones was one of those guys that started the athletic movement in MMA. One of those dudes that you looked at in the UFC and you said, you know what, I could see him doing different things. Obviously, having two brothers that played professional football, but Francis Ngannou is the champion, and we're not even talking about him. And I think a huge reason or another thing that will make me talk about him more is after Ciryl Gane goes out and dominates Derrick Lewis in 3 rounds in the octagon, if we could get Francis Ngannou to walk the stairs, to get inside the octagon, be squared off face to face with Ciryl Gane, so we could see the massive size of these men after watching the athleticism and the skill and the technique of Ciryl Gane. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. The first fight that we got to do together was Poirier McGregor, and I was just excited to be there. I was happy. First, I was around a MMA legend in DC, but you got to see all these other fighters.
Are you going?
Francis Ngannou.
Are you going? Are you going? Are you going? Are you going?
If these two
when
dudes
Ngannou Gane are together,
100%.
are you going to be there? Are you going to be there? You know what? Hey, Ryan, you know what? That thought that you have is shared by so many. Because they're such big guys. And hey, as much as you love McGregor Poirier, people love the heavyweights. And when you got a guy that can knock you out like Francis, and then a guy that can play the game like Ciryl, this is gonna be good. And Dana wants to do it before the end of the year. He wants to do it before the end of the year.
But did we miss a chance for an amazing face-off? To actually have the visual, did Francis Ngannou, because I feel like we already missed a chance for Jon Jones, Francis Ngannou. Did Francis Ngannou miss a marquee moment? Did the UFC miss a marquee moment by not having Francis Ngannou there? If we're going to play it like old school boxing, by not having those dudes there, stand face to face in the middle of the ring with Francis Ngannou's former coach and Ciryl Gane's current coach right there looking on.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.